Hey, what's happening, guys? Norsky here, and I'm back with another top 5 for you guys. We're going to go through the top 5 most underrated guns in Battlefield 1 based on some weapon stats, in my opinion. Now let's get started. Starting out with the number 5 gun is the Huat Automatic Low Weight. For pretty much the entire lifespan of Battlefield 1, the Huat was considered the worst support gun, and for that matter was one of the worst guns in the entire game. But now I'm here to tell you that it's slowly improved into a pretty solid gun. The Huat's biggest strength is that it doesn't have any major weaknesses. It's actually very average when it comes to all the major weapon statistics. If I had to give this gun an actual strength and weakness, I would say that the Huat's biggest strength would be its overall control and accuracy. It has some of the lowest recoil ratings in the entire support class, which gives this gun such great control. What makes this gun so accurate is definitely its tight bullet spread. Now when it comes to its biggest weakness, that would definitely have to be its damage. Even though it's tied for last, it sometimes feels like you could put 1,000,000 rounds into your enemy and it still wouldn't kill him. This gun can feel very weak at times, but if you stay within 30 meters of an enemy, you shouldn't have any issues when it comes to its damage. Overall, this gun has grown on me a little bit, because it's definitely an underdog kind of gun that can make this game more challenging, which I enjoy sometimes, and that's why I have this gun number 5. Coming in at number 4 is the M97 Trench Gun Sweeper. The M97 is a fast-pumping shotgun that can clear through a choke point filled with targets. Its fire rate is nearly double that of the Model 10A, so it's awesome at dispensing quick and constant punishment with particular impact against clustered groups of enemies. The reason I prefer the Sweeper over the Backboard and Hunter variants is mainly because it has a higher pellet count per shot. The Sweeper disperses 22 pellets per shot, which the other two variants only disperse 14 per shot. The Sweeper is definitely the best M97 variant to use when it comes to close-quarter combat. Obviously, the most popular shotgun in Battlefield 1 is the Model 10A, because it's considered by most the best shotgun, but don't sleep on the M97 Trench Gun, because it can be just as effective as the Model 10A. As with most shotguns, the biggest weakness is its recoil, and that's no different with the M97. In fact, it has some of the highest recoil ratings among all the shotguns in Battlefield 1. Overall, the M97 Trench Gun is very underrated as a whole, and the Model 10A is definitely the go-to weapon when it comes to shotguns, but the M97 Trench Gun can definitely hold its own, and it can be a nice alternative if you don't want to use the Model 10A or the 12 gauge. And that's why it comes in at number 4. Alright, moving on to number 3 is the Autoloading 8.25 Extended. Honestly, when it comes to some of the best guns in the meta class, you never hear about the Autoloading 8 Extended. And I'm not sure why, because this gun can be amazing in some situations. This gun is good at close range, but it's great at medium range. It has a very solid combination of good damage and decent rate of fire, and also has a decent magazine size. That makes this gun pretty good, and also very underrated. I know some of the community really enjoys using the other two autoloading variants, but the Extended is easily my favorite. The autoloading Extended is also fairly accurate, and it can be effective at all ranges. Long range shots can be kinda tricky sometimes because its damage ratings are not very good past 30 meters in distance. This gun can be versatile whether you want to be aggressive or conservative, and it can really pack a punch at close and medium range when you connect. Overall, this gun is very underrated and is definitely worth trying out if you haven't already. The number 2 gun on this list is the M1909 Benet Merci Storm. The M1909's 30-round strip magazine is one of the most iconic standouts of Battlefield 1's time period, and is definitely the coolest looking magazine in reload animation in my opinion. It has laser beam-like accuracy, boasting the lowest overall recoil and first shot multiplier of any machine gun. The M1909 is surprisingly efficient and effective when mobile, but you'll likely chomp through the strip while you're on the move. Although you'll definitely find greater success being stationary or crouching. It chugs at a slow 450 rounds per minute, which is the second slowest in the support class, but most of your shots will land where you send them. So this is a great weapon for point defense or safeguarding an objective during a capture. The reason I consider this great gun underrated is because it's never considered the best support gun by most of the community. It always comes behind the BAR M1918 and also the MG15, and many people would take the Shawshay before the Benet Merci too. Personally, I would take the Benet Merci over any other support gun because that's how good I think it is. This gun has always been one of my favorites ever since the game came out, and still is. That's why I have it number 2 on my list. Alright, we're moving on to the number 1 most underrated gun in Battlefield 1, and that would be the MP18 Experimental. I swear almost nobody uses this gun, and I'm not sure why, because it's definitely a diamond in the rough. This gun is a beast at close, medium, and long range. It has a good overall rate of fire at 550 rounds per minute, even though that's the slowest among the SMGs in Battlefield 1. The 3-round burst makes this gun so much more bearable to control. It also helps keep the bullet spread pretty tight. It's crazy how low-key this gun is still. I personally think that this is easily the best MP18 variant and one of the top 3 SMG variants in Battlefield 1. This gun is also a ton of fun to play with because of its uniqueness, since it's practically the only 3-round burst gun in the game. And if you haven't played with this gun yet, you need to, because it's a great gun that's very underrated and it needs some more love from the community. In summary, we got the Huat automatic at the 5 spot, the M97 trench gun at the 4 spot, the auto-loading 8.25 at number 3, number 2 is the M1909 Benet Merci, and the most underrated gun is the MP18 Experimental. Let me know in the comments what you guys think are the most underrated guns in Battlefield 1. Anyways, that's the video. Thanks for watching. Hit that like button if you enjoyed, and subscribe if you haven't already, because we're getting real close to that 500 mark, which would be pretty cool to hit. I appreciate all of you guys that watch my videos, and I just want to say thanks again, and I'll catch you guys later.